Hi guys, I'm Doug Gould and I'm a professional classical and jazz pianist based in the UK. I also transcribe music, which is where I work out what's really going on in an arrangement. You see, usually the sheet music is quite different to what you hear in the recording. Recently, a friend of mine challenged me to listen to Eminem's classic song Lose Yourself and work out by ear how many layers of sound there are, and analyse just what's happening in the instrumental arrangement. While I was trying to do this, I made an amazing discovery about the music, which at the very least will surprise you. But firstly, I'll tell you a bit how the instrumental arrangement is built up and how it's structured, and then how that threatening mood is created. And this will then take me to a deeper and darker place where this song links to the distant past in a weird way and suggests hidden meanings. I spent some time listening to Lose Yourself and found that there are at least 14 layers. So the piano sound is really important in this piece, and the introduction goes something like this. And so on. And then there's a string sound, like a sort of keyboard violins, and it only appears once, and that's just in the introduction. And it's just that, and then another one. And then you've got your guitar riff, which is very, very important, which runs through most of the piece. And then you've got a bass sound that appears, I think it's a bass piano sound or a bass guitar as well. And then you've got a keyboard chorus sound, which appears at the beginning, making a very blurry effect. And then a bit later on, you've got like a brassy sound, which appears in a couple of the verses. And then you've got something called an orchestral hit, which is these very strong chords that you get in the chorus. And then you get two forms of rhythm. You get a very stuttery sort of bass drum, which suggests a threatening atmosphere, almost like a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. And there's some variations on that. And then you get a standard kind of rap beat. So this led me to think about how the song is structured a bit more. Why does it work so well to create such a powerful piece of music? Well, actually, it has two intros. One to create a dreamy but sombre atmosphere, and that's right at the very start. And then when that famous guitar riff kicks in, the threatening atmosphere really starts to be created. And after that, it's just 3 verses and 3 choruses plus an outro. And it's really impressive as an arranger myself how this particular arrangement works within such a simple structure to keep the interest alive. How did that arranger do it? How did the arranger keep the listener interested? And how does this arrangement actually work? Well, as I listened more, I began to realise that some of the layers, when they appear, are pretty much the same every time. For example, the big drum pattern, the bass sound, that guitar riff. So some layers are really predictable, but also there are degrees of unpredictability. Some sounds, for example, appear only once in the song, the high violins at the beginning, and some of the piano notes later on. Others change a bit, like the keyboard brass sounds, for example. What he does is he takes a keyboard sound, it's a brass sound, and at the beginning of the first verse, that's at 55 seconds into the track, on the words "his palms are sweaty," he comes up with these sort of chords. You can hear it in the background if you listen closely. later, the same idea reappears, but there's a slight change, and you'll hear it. It's at 1 minute 17 seconds, where he goes on to the words "back to reality." You know, it's so similar to the previous one, but it's a good example of a little bit of unpredictability in the music. So, the arrangement is a bit like a kaleidoscope of different instrumental colours. It always changes, but slowly and very subtly underpins the aggressive lyrics. But this doesn't really explain the power of this dark piece of music. So I thought some more. Basically, it sounds like it's in a minor key, which often suggests drama and strong emotion. To give you some idea what I mean, if I play the opening in a major key, you will hear a great difference. So at the very beginning of the piece, he has this piano music, which is in a minor key, and it expresses some kind of almost like dreamy, almost like a kind of moody atmosphere. And it goes like this. It's very delicate. Minor key is expressing the moodiness. Now, if I was to change that into a major key, all I'm going to do is change 2 notes and you'll immediately hear a difference. And what a difference those 2 notes make. In fact, that might be better suited to a completely different style of music. And I just thought of one. Actually, the truth about this song is far deeper. Most of it is not in a minor or major key, but in a very old scale, which uses just these notes. It's the notes of the Aeolian mode, and this goes back many, many hundreds of years. And here it is. And it's this which connects the song to a much earlier time in history. So I did more thinking and realised that one layer in particular refers to something really weird. There's an old piece of music called the Dies Irae, which sounds a bit like it. It's a Latin hymn and it goes back 800 years, and it's from the Mass for the Dead. And this is about the Day of Judgment, when a trumpet will summon up the dead before God. The righteous will be saved and the others thrown into hell. It's been used in music before, of course, on the soundtrack of movies like The Poltergeist and The Shining. So you can begin to understand what this music by Eminem is suggesting. And I found out to my amazement that that Dies Irae tune actually fits with the brass chords from the Eminem song Lose Yourself. Which I played you earlier. Here they go together. So it's amazing, they actually fit. It's a very interesting cultural reference, almost certainly unconscious by the arranger. So the Day of Judgment theme connects with this great Eminem song at a very deep and ancient level. A religious revelation, in a weird way, connects with a very secular song. And of course, there's even a reference to death in the lyric. Now, why would that be? I'm going to let you think about that. I've got my own ideas, but I'm not going to try and influence you. But there we have it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to your company on the next one. And please remember, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any songs you'd like me to explore like this one, just get in touch with me. In the meantime, lose yourself.